Hey everybody. Hi. Welcome to the unofficial solo teacher tea podcast. And I'm laughing because it just feels a little silly to say. So I have notes here because I'm doing this by myself. I've never done this before. My name is Brooke. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, Today, my cat also might be joining us. There, he's over there, so maybe he'll make an appearance. I would absolutely love that. So then it wouldn't be the solo teacher T. It would be teacher T and Louie, because that's his name. I started a podcast this last year with my teacher bestie. And after teaching for 8 years, I finally found a teacher bestie. And she had been my student teacher before she got the job at the school that I was working at. And we, ever since she was my student teacher, we just like clicked instantly and became really great friends. So we started the Teacher T or Teacher T podcast, whatever we thought we were doing at the time. And we only, excuse me, I'm still getting over being sick. So I'm really sorry if I am coughing on this. Probably not what you're supposed to officially do on an official podcast. However, we started Teacher T and we only filmed 2 episodes of it. And then life got really busy and we just, school, as all of the teachers know it, school got crazy busy. And she was coaching softball at the time. And like after the holidays, it was just like we just didn't put any time into it. We didn't really talk about it. And then it was no more. So I didn't think it was getting a lot of views. And then we actually had one person comment and say, when are you going to do another episode of the podcast? And I was like, somebody's actually listening to us. Somebody is actually watching it. And I told her, I was like, I feel like people would listen if we were doing a podcast because we just I don't know, we just have such a great vibe when we're together and hanging out and whatever else. So yeah. But regardless, we are no longer Teacher T duo. So this video is all about maybe like a life update and a reintroduction to Teacher T. So life update, one of the reasons why we haven't even started the podcast back up again in the summer is because Jessie has moved to a different state and I have moved as well, but I didn't move to a different state. I just moved schools. So we technically, we both left our school that we were at and we're both at different schools now. So she is doing really well and I'm doing really well. We're both doing great, but we haven't gotten to see each other, but we still stay connected through TikTok and texting and all the other ways you can stay connected. So, also, just so you guys know, this is supposed to be like a reintroduction podcast, but like I have plans after this and I'm like, going out in the world, I'm going to be wearing comfier clothes I'm going to be wearing more like dressed up clothes, but I was just like, let's just do this like comfy today. I put on these sweats, which I love. These are my favorite. And I was like, I'm doing sweats and sweatshirt for a reintroduction podcast because I want everyone to be able to come and be like, oh my gosh, this is just such a relaxing, fun, cozy, safe place and vibe. So back to, this is why I have my notes, keep me on track. Back to what I was talking about. At the end of last year, we both moved schools. And what I want to say about my last school is I absolutely loved my last school. I have like such a, like when I think about it, I get sad because I felt like I built up such great like relationships with the teachers there and the TAs who worked there. Like I feel like I just loved all the people that I worked with there, and it was really, really, really hard to leave my school. However, the reason I left was not for any like dramatic reason, but I was just commuting, and I had been commuting for like 8 years, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I cannot commute any longer. Like I really can't. A lot of things when I started teaching, I was single and coaching softball, and I first started working in elementary school and always wanted to be at the high school that I just actually left. I had always wanted to be at that was like my dream job. Literally the job that I just left was like my dream job. And I had gone into teaching like wanting just like that was my end goal. Like I just want to get back there. I just want to get back to the high school. I just want to get back to the high school. And I was still coaching and working at an elementary school. And so, but I was also living in a county that I didn't work in. So I was, excuse me, commuting at the time. It was like a 55-minute drive. Plus, if there was traffic, like it was way worse if there was traffic. But I loved that elementary school. I didn't love teaching elementary, no shade to elementary teachers or that age range. That just was not my niche. Like that was just not where I felt like I was thriving the most. But I love the teachers that worked there, love the principal that was there. Oh my goodness. And it was hard to leave that school, but I wanted to get back to the high school. So like that was the end goal. So I was sad to leave that, but I wasn't. I was so happy because I was like, oh my God, I got my dream job. Like, this is my dream job. This is what I've always wanted. So I quickly realized my dream job was really hard. And um, so I worked in a self-contained or like structured setting type classroom. So students with higher needs, I'm their file holder. I manage all of their IEP meetings that they have. I, teach them basic functional reading skills, functional math skills, functional life skills, vocational skills in my classroom. And then they go out to other classes. We had a really great like work-based learning class at our school where the kids made cookies for the rest of the school. And then during our break time, like kids could come and buy cookies, and it was just phenomenal. It was like a great class for my students to be able to go out to from my classroom and get like work experience within the school before they moved on to the adult program. So that's what I used to do. And when I started that job, like I quickly realized, oh my God, this is actually way harder than I thought it was. Not that I thought it was going to be easy, but I thought elementary was hard just because of the age range. But the aspects of that specific structured setting job, you had so many jobs within the one job. And that's what made it so hard. Like you were constantly working around the clock. Like I was working weekends, I was working after school, I was coming in early before school. Like it was really like that was my life. So I really enjoyed breaks, needless to say. Um but I had like all of the TAs that worked at the school. Well, most of them were like housed in my classroom. So I had several TAs for the past like 5 years working there. And just, when you work with people and you like go through different things, like you form great relationships and bonds with them and like connections, and just you start to learn who their families are and they start to learn about you and things like that. And so I feel like that's one of the reasons why it was so much harder to leave that school. I had also worked at that school as a TA. They titled it job coach because I worked with the adult program, but I had worked at that school before I got my teaching job there. So I was like TA, job coach, worked at the elementary school while I finished school, like my school, and then went to the high school to teach. I hope that made sense. Not, I can do an episode about my teaching career. Excuse me. So I was really hard leaving that school, but it was bittersweet. Like it was really refreshing because I now work at a school that is less than 10 minutes from my house. I love the drive. I used to, at the high school, I had a 45-minute drive. The drive was just literally chewing up so much time. Within those 5 years, I met my now fiance, and he has a little boy. So the last 2 years, we moved in together. And I feel like when we moved in and life started to happen more together, that's when I was like, I cannot do this drive anymore. I can't. I'm wasting. Let me back up. I'm spending, I don't want to say wasting, but I'm spending so much time. Ugh, ignore the ads. Okay, so I went from spending so much time in the car to really wanting, I'm in like a season of life now where I just want more time. And right now, my job being so close allows for that. And I absolutely love that. Now, what I'm doing now at my new job is a lot different than what I did in my old job. So I went from teaching in a structured setting, inclusion, excuse me, I just gave it away, structured setting classroom to now teaching inclusion. So I'm still in the special ed world, but I am helping students in high school earn their diploma, but I'm supporting them in the general education classes. So this year I'm in an Algebra 1 class, geometry class, and 2 English classes. So I am not like the primary teacher, and the way that inclusion works, it can work a lot of different ways. So I'm not the primary content teacher of the English 1 class or the Algebra 1 class, thank God, because they would really suffer. But I am the support teacher in that classroom. So I serve as their support. I provide services in their class. And I also have other kids on my caseload that I work with as well. So it's completely different than what I've ever done. I'm used to like running a classroom, managing a class, managing TAs, and making sure the adults know what they're doing and training them, and really being like the leader in the room. To now I'm stepping into other teachers' classrooms, learning brand new content. I've been teaching y'all functional life skills, math skills, reading skills for my whole teaching career. So 8 years. Although I did a ton of different things in elementary school, that was like one of the jobs too, was to teach. One of my classes was functional academics and stuff. So, so I'm doing something completely new. I started year 9 of teaching doing something completely new, and it has really rocked my world. Now, I feel like a lot of people, if they were going from inclusion to structured setting, they would be like, wow, this is crazy, because it's a lot. It is so much to manage and handle day in and day out. However, I I don't know if I just thrive in that setting and thrive with students who have higher needs and need more support, but it's rocked my world going from busy, like just like go all the time to this, because I prep and plan with my teachers, but they are the sole one, like the main ones who prep their content, because they're the content teachers, and these are tested subjects in high school. So they are feeling, more responsibility for the scores than maybe I am, because I'm not the primary teacher. However, I'm stressed because I need to learn the content in order to help support the kids. And I haven't been doing this content since I was in high school. And that was like years ago, more than 10 years. So it's kind of rocked my world, especially the math. I've always struggled with math. I've always needed extra help with math, and now I'm providing the extra help for math. So how ironic is that? When I made this change though, I had another school and another opportunity where I could do a structured setting job at another school really close to home. But my interviews at that school were not, I didn't get the vibe that I got with this school. So the school that I'm at now, I really, really like. I don't love that I'm like the new person. So I don't know everybody like I did in my old school. Like I was so comfortable at my old school, and like being comfortable is like really just, I thrive when I feel like I'm comfortable and I know that people trust me and trust I'm going to do a good job. When I feel like I have to prove myself, that's when I feel like I screw up the most, is like when I'm not relaxed and I'm like stressed, I'm like, oh my God, I got to do a good job. But regardless, it's going well. I am not loving my position, and this is no like shade to the school or the people who work there or my mentors or anybody there, because I've really loved everyone and enjoyed working with everyone. So I promise that's not it. But I have really just like, I like it, but I don't love it. I've struggled with learning a new position and doing a new position, and I have to write, IEPs differently and learn how to do things different than what I've always done and what I'm used to doing. And I'm out of my comfort zone a little bit, but it's fine and it's going well. It's just different, and sometimes I don't like different. And I really miss my I love the connections that I'm making with my students now in class. Um and you've got to be like kind of do that in a different way, because I'm not the sole teacher, so I have to really like put forth an effort to like get to know these kids outside of what's being taught in the classroom. So like during our enrichment time, I need to like be pulling them and like working extra with them, and like during like independent work, I really need to like be mindful of trying to like build the relationship with students, since they don't see me up and teaching about as much as they do like their primary teacher. But regardless, I like what I'm doing, but I'm not loving it. I also went from having my own classroom, I had a huge classroom, to a shared office space now, which is really tough because I don't know, it's just completely different. I'm just not doing well with different. So I don't hate it. I like it. I don't love it, but it's growing on me. So my hopes, I came to the school with the hopes of like, if I can get my foot in the door with inclusion, maybe down the line when they have a structured setting, that opens up, maybe I can take that. I will say though, I have way I have a different type of stress with inclusion. I don't want to say it's less, because at times it feels like a lot, but I feel like overall the stress is decreased outside of work. On the weekends, I have a little bit more time where I don't think about work as much as I did with my other job. So I feel like my stress has diminished. My workload is completely different and not as much. So that I am enjoying, because I really want to do other things like this, or I've got other side hustles that I'm working on. If you follow this channel, then I'm in the Amazon influencer program, and I love doing stuff like that. So I don't with the other job, I just didn't have any other things. I used to post on TikTok a lot, but now I feel kind of like I don't know what to post anymore, because my experience and my teaching is completely different. So I don't know. But regardless, it's going well. In addition to my new position, the last 2 years, and I'm just going to be really honest, and this is going to be this is how I'm going to end the episode, because I kind of want to see what other people are feeling. My honest feelings about teaching right now, for the past 2 years, since I started year 7 and year 8 and now year 9, are just, I feel really stale about teaching. Like don't I don't know, like, what I used to be so passionate, and when I was going through school I was like, I cannot wait to be a teacher. I cannot wait to make a difference. I cannot wait to do all these things. And then it's almost like once you get in the world of teaching, it's like, oh my gosh, like this is a lot. Like you can make a difference, but you got a lot of things going up against you too. So how are we going to do that? Like, I don't know when I was a TA going through school, I don't know what I thought. I also was just trying to get through to start my career to be financially independent. So regardless, it was a completely different expectation than what I thought. And I kept like trudging through and just really positive, really positive. And it wasn't even like the teaching part of it and like working with the kids. It had nothing to do with that. It was just all the extra stuff sometimes that comes with teaching. And it's the stuff that you don't really expect that comes up. And like the only thing that I feel like I've really loved is working with the kids the entire time. So like I just I'm either trying to like find my passion again for teaching or exit, and I'm leaning more towards the exiting teaching. It's not going to happen, I don't think, within this year, because whenever I sign a contract, I want to, unless my business just booms, me and my fiance's business just booms, like, then maybe, by January, at least that's what I'm manifesting. But if I sign a contract, I'm going to work till the end of the school year. But I don't like feeling like I'm wasting my years. And the reason I'm feeling so stale and I know that I'm not truly living my life while I'm teaching is because I'm thriving when we have breaks. And we're on fall break right now. And I am thriving. Like, I'm up, I'm productive, I'm happy, I'm doing things that make me happy. And I know work is just a part of life, but I feel like I don't know, I enjoy work and I like work, but it's not giving me that fuel, and I'm not feeling passionate about it anymore. I'm not getting as much joy out of it that I used to get out of it. And I don't know if that's because I'm in a new position or a new school and I just don't know anybody, but I was feeling that way last year. So maybe not. I think it's me changing and evolving. But I don't know. I hate to say that about my career because it's something that I feel like I've put all of my identity into being a teacher, and I'm sure other people can relate. But I know when we have breaks, I am just so happy. My fiance can tell. He's like, I love when you're out of school throughout the week, because I feel like maybe I'm just like a different person. And I feel like other people can relate to that because I've seen that on social media and TikTok and things like that. Like, you're just, I don't know, you're just like so full of life. I'm like, why can't I carry that into teaching? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like sometimes this is like sucking the life out of me. So all that to say, I'm going to end the podcast on that note. And maybe video 2 will be why I feel stale in teaching, or how I'm trying to find my passion for this, what will hopefully be maybe the last year, and exiting into something new and exciting. So I don't know. I have written down that video 2 will be switching from a self-contained classroom to an inclusion classroom, but I kind of already talked about that in this video. And I'm going to be really honest, there's no rhyme or reason as to why I'm doing these podcasts. I did a meditation today and it just came up for me in meditation. It was like, you should do this. And I was like, oh my God, I should do this. So I'm doing it today. So I don't know. I have like maybe 4 videos set out. If you have stayed to the end of this video, thank you. I appreciate you so much for being here. And if there's anything that you want to hear or ask or listen to in the next video, please let me know, because I'm always open to ideas. And I can't make any promises, but I hope that I can continue this through the next few months and at least until the end of the school year, because I just really want to hold myself accountable. I don't have the excuse of it takes so much time because I live so close to my job now. So hopefully I can find, or I'm going to schedule and carve out time to sit and talk on the Solo Teacher Tea podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining me for this episode. Also, I will say, if you're following me on this YouTube channel, I apologize. Like, I don't really know what's going on with the channel. I first started it to post teaching videos. Then I started posting my Amazon influencer videos because I feel like I want other people to know the products that I use and love. And then now I'm doing the teacher podcast. So it's an all-encompassing channel right now. So I apologize if you're like, I don't want to watch Amazon influencer videos. I just want to watch this teacher thing, or I don't care about her being a teacher. I just want to see what the best cute clothes on Amazon are, or whatever I've been posting. I don't know. So hopefully this will help. Hopefully there will be a better, guide to what the channel is. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. It's October right now. I hope you have a wonderful fall. If you're on fall break, I hope you're having a great fall break. If you are not on fall break and you're almost there, keep pushing. You're going to make it soon enough. Rest is coming. And if you are done with fall break and you are back into the teaching world, keep pushing through because we have another break coming. So Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful month. And I'll see you in the next video.